أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فرض الطهارة غسل الأعضاء الثلاثة ومسح الرأس والمرفقان والقعبان يدخلان في فرض الغسل عند علماء الثلاثة خلافا لزفر. Brothers and sisters in Islam, it's the third lesson of Quduri, and he says फर्ज जो है तहारत के यानी वुजू के वो धोना है 3 अज़ा का और सर का मसा. The component parts which are farz in tahara, meaning wuzu, the obligatory actions for purity are the washing of 3 limbs, meaning the hands up to the elbows, including the elbows, the face, the wiping of the head, and the washing of the feet, including the ankles. ومسح الرأس والمرفقان والقعبان يدخلان في فرض الغسل عند علماء الثلاثة. This is farz according to the Aimai Salasa. And Aimai Salasa we discussed in lesson number 1 that when we say Aimai Salasa, it means Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayh, Imam Abu Yusuf and Imam Mohammed. All 3 are unanimous in suggesting, saying and giving the verdict that all these 4 component parts are farz for, and they are obligatory for the purity of wuzu. And there is an attachment here, khalafan li zufara, and with the objection of Imam Zufar. Imam Zufar was also a great Imam. He was a student of Abu Hanifa rahmatullah alayh, but he disagreed. And the disagreement here is that there is the disagreement of Imam Zufar is the ayat of Surah Baqarah, which is 187, ayat number Summa atimmu siyama ila al-layl. Here he says that this Quranic ayat, which we referred to previously in this lesson number 2, which was Ya ayyuhallazina amanu idha kuntum ila salat, this ila, and then faghsilu wujuhakum wa aydiyakum ila, again ila al-murafiqi, these 2, wa arjulakum ila al-qa'bayn. This ila is similar one that is referred to, and there is another similar ayat in Quran Majid Furqan Hamid in 187 of Surah Baqarah, and a discussion is started here about something which is called ghaya and mughayya. And ghaya would mean the object, mughayya would mean the object, and ghaya would mean the boundary of that object or that compound. Imam Zufar, he says that the ankles and the elbows are not a part of farz. Washing them are not a part of farz. And what is his evidence? He says, look at this ayat in Surah Baqarah. He says that the same wordings is used in that ayat which are similar to this one. And there it suggests that you should fast until the night arrives. Ilal layl, up until the night, the setting of the sun. And here, because he says there's something called mughayya and something called ghaya. So here he would say that the fasting is mughayya and the night is ghaya, meaning the boundary. So when the fasting reaches the boundary, which is the night, the fasting ends. And he says in similarly here, when you wash the feet, the ankles are the boundary. The ankles are the ghaya, meaning that when you come up to the ankles, your washing should end. Similarly with this Quranic ayat. And also he says that when you are washing your hands are mughayya, and when you reach your elbows, the elbows similar to the Quranic ayat in Surah Baqarah, when you reach your elbows, the washing of the hands, this is the boundary. So therefore the ankles and the elbows are not included in the obligatory parts of purity. But here the Aimai Salasa, they disagree. They say that although what you are saying is correct, but there is a principle. The principle is that if the ghaya and mughayya are not of the same species, of the same universals, then this principle we would use this principle. How? That if the day is not of the same species, the universal of night. Night is something else and day is something else. So therefore then we would say, we would accept your argument. But here he says our argument is, the principle is that when the ghaya and the mughayya, the object and the boundary, are from the same species or the same universal, then we would include them into the mughayya, into the boundary, and this would be quite correct, and our interpretation would be correct, and this is the principle. And this is the ruling of the Ahnaf, that this is one of the reasons that that the washing of the elbows and the washing of the ankles are included in farz. جو آئمہ ثلاثہ ہے انہوں نے کہا کہ جو انکل اور کونیاں یہ فرض میں شامل ہیں. آئمہ ثلاثہ سے امام ابو حنیفہ، ابو یوسف اور امام محمد کہتے ہیں کہ جب ہاتھ دھوئے جائیں اور پاؤں کو دھویا جائے تو اپنے ٹخنوں کو اور کینیوں کو اس کے اندر داخل ہیں وہ. لیکن امام ظفر فرماتے ہیں کہ یہ اس میں داخل نہیں ہے، اور ان کی دلیل قرآن مجید کی یہ آیت ہے سورہ بقرہ کی کہ 187 نمبر آیت، ثم اتموا الصیام الی اللیل، روزے رکھو رات کے آنے تک. تو انہوں نے کہا کہ اگر رات، تو انہوں نے کہا دیکھیں وہاں جب رات آئی تو روزہ ختم ہو گیا، تو لہٰذا اسی طرح آپ اپنے پاؤں کو دھوؤں، تو جب آپ کی کینیاں آ جائیں تو وہاں تک آپ دھوئیں. تو اسی طرح ہاتھوں کو بھی اپنے کینیوں تک اور ٹخنوں تک اسی طرح وہی قانون ہے وہاں. اور لیکن ائمہ ثلاثہ کہتے ہیں کہ جب غایا اور مغیا یہ دونوں ایک جنس سے ہوں، ایک یونیورسل، ایک سپیشیز، ایک شے کے ہوں، تو پھر یہ قانون نہیں چلتا. تو ہم کہتے ہیں کہ یہ جو ہے غایا اور مغیا یہ دونوں ہم جنس ہیں، لہٰذا ان کا دھونے کے اندر فرض میں ان کو داخل کریں گے. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the ability to understand the principles and act upon them and spread them. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Salatu wassalamu ala rasulihi Muhammadin wa alihi wa ahli baytihi wa ashabihi ajma'in.